Hey there everyone, it's Louise from Craft Geek Dioramas, and I thought today I would show you my new bus stop prop diorama that I have currently made in between some commissions. This piece wasn't a commission piece, it's just something that I decided to make with lots of different offcuts and things that I had, so I just thought I would do a quick video of it just to show you how I made it quickly and how it kind of scales with the a 110 figure or 112 figure. Okay, so I haven't seen, or if I probably have, there probably are some bus stop props or dioramas out there, but I haven't actually seen many, if any. So currently I'm trying to make things that a lot of people aren't making, so I just want to do something a little bit different. I love making sort of my dios and the alley dios and the street dios and all that kind of stuff, but there is a lot of them out there, and they all kind of like mingle and merge into one after a while. So I thought I would try and just, I don't know, test my creativity, I guess, with some different kind of work that I've been doing, and this just being one of them really. It could be used for toy photography, it can be it could be used for display even. I mean, I'm not quite sure what figure it would be used for display, but certainly for toy photography it's kind of what I had in mind really. I'm using the Commissioner Gordon figure just so you guys can kind of gauge scale of it. It's probably not 100% scale of a traditional bus stop as such. But obviously I had to work with the materials I had, so this is kind of as big as I could go with this piece, but I think it's pretty cool, and obviously if it needed to be shipped out, it's going to be pretty easy to get posted out. Okay, so if we go in a little bit closer, the overall piece, if I get my ruler, okay, so lengthwise we're kind of looking at about 12 inches long, just shy, and depth-wise we are looking at around 18 centimeters deep. So that's the kind of size that I went for. The actual base is made from 5mm white styrofoam, which obviously I've painted and dry brushed to make it look like concrete. The actual height is approximately, let's turn my ruler around the other way, it's really hard trying to do this one-handed, I've got to invest in a camera stand. Okay, so it's about 23 centimeters high, and how I constructed it is I made the actual bus shelter part first, and that actually took quite a while because I wanted it to look symmetrical, and it was quite difficult. The hot glue that I've got, which I use there, the Dremel gun, didn't like sort of gluing card to plastic, so that tested my patience a little bit, but I kind of used a strong, let me show you, I use a strong decorator's PVA, which does take a lot longer to set, but it actually sets really hard, so I've used that in a lot of places, especially on the roof, and it's holding together, so that's pretty cool. I just basically used for the 4 pillars, or the 4 sort of edges here, I used straws. They're basically clear straws, they're thicker straws than normal, which I got kindly sent to me, so I used those for the base, and I've used chipboard again, sort of like to keep it all together as such, and under the roof there as well is all chipboard, and that kind of like the 3 sides gave it stability, and then the roof is made up of a few different pieces, and this sits up into, if we can see it, but basically I've added a couple of layers of foam and card, and the actual they're actually set into foam. I put foam around the outer edge, so the straw is set in that part, and then it's set into the floor. Now it does come out of the floor, but it doesn't come out of the roof. So when it goes to shipping, the floor is separate. So that's how I kind of got the stability of it, and it's worked really well. And then obviously to give it strength, I've added chipboard across there. So obviously on the outer edge there, top and bottom, and then obviously on the outer edge there, top and bottom. Okay, so the back I added chipboard to, and I left 2 windows open in it, and then what I've used on that is my frosted folder that I got again, which I can get at the pound shop. There's sort of like a clear frosted folder with plastic sleeves in, and I just cut them up. So that's what I used on the back panel and on the roof. It's great because it kind of gives that opaqueness, but it's not too blacked out, so if people want to use lighting and have stuff behind, it can still be seen quite clearly, but it just gives that sort of just slight frostiness to it. I was going to put windows in each side here, but I kind of like looked at some different bus shelter images, and some of them haven't even got anything in the sides, or they've got like these boards on the side like here. So that's what I decided to do on this one, was just to put the glass window in the back and the top, and then I just put these boards each side. And the boards are again all made from chipboard, as is the bus stop sign here. And the bus stop sign is actually freestanding, so again great for shipping, or again if they want to use it in another shot or anything else. So it's sort of like a prop piece on its own really. And what I decided to put on here, I printed off a bus stop sign, and I adhered it to my black foam, and then I printed off a bus timetable from Google. I think this is a New York bus timetable, and I think I can't read that small, I'm getting too old to read that, but yeah, it's Sunday through Friday, eastbound to New York. So I've got a bit of a New York theme going on here. So that was the bus stop sign. Just pop that one back. I wanted some posters, and I wanted some just sort of, I don't know, generic posters, I guess. I didn't want sort of movie posters because I thought that would date quite easily. So good old Coca-Cola, I thought that would be quite a good sort of generic poster to pop on there. So again, a printout from Google. And I've got a New York, welcome, come to New York, the city that never sleeps. So kind of like a tourist type poster, again on chipboard. And then at the back I decided to have the Prada one. I was going to go for Gucci, but some of the images weren't great, so I just went for the Prada one, which I think looks pretty cool. And on this, I have added a little bit of, in the loosest term, graffiti. I do not claim to be a graffiti artist. I cannot do it very well, but I wanted to add something to it. And okay, it looks okay. It's probably, you know, there's probably some graffiti artists out there, especially in the Dio world, who are probably crying right now going, what has she done? But you know, it's my attempt, and I don't claim to be a graffiti artist. So, but I just wanted to add something to the bus stop, and I wanted it to look a little bit dirty and worn. I didn't want it to look sort of clean, too clean anyway. So I just added a few bits of that. Just move Gordon out of the way. Okay, so inside we've got the seat. Now that is freestanding also, and I wanted it to be pretty sort of minimalist as the bus stop. And I looked at images again, and a lot of them were just sort of like metal seats, not very comfortable seats. So that's what I did there. Again, made of chipboard, freestanding, so it can be used and used again. If I just pop him back in there. Okay, so the top part of the roof, I used the white foam that I used on the base here, and I didn't paint it. because once I'd put it on, I quite liked the look of it as it was. So I decided to leave it, and I decided to add some black foam strips to it, just to kind of give it a little bit of a tone really, rather than just having it white. And then what I decided to do then was to dirty it up, make it look a bit dirty with inks, which again, my inks I always use. I'll get them out for you. These are the inks that I use, and I've had these for a very long time, probably about 3 years actually. And they haven't dried out because I've been pretty religious at keeping the lids on. They are probably starting to verge to run out, but I just add a bit of water to them. These are the two that I use. I use the brown, the walnut and the black. This piece here has really just been used, I've just used brown because I think black would have been a bit heavy. And I've also used the inks to accent the floor as well, sort of a little bit of weathering. And I do all my weathering with these, as you probably hear through all my videos. I always use these to weather. I don't use an airbrush. I may do one day, I may not. I still don't feel I need an airbrush at the moment. I can achieve results with these and a brush that I could with an airbrush. So I'm happy with my inks for now. So get those out of the way. Yeah, so I used the white foam there, and then I just placed some corrugated cardboard on the top and painted it to sort of make it look a bit rusty. When I constructed it all, this base part here I base coated in black, dry brushed grey to make it look like concrete. The actual main structure of the bus stop is actually all spray painted silver. And obviously that's before I added all of the bits to it, and even before I added the roof. So the sort of the basic structure I spray painted silver, including the bus stop sign. And when it was just sprayed silver, it did look, it looked very, it just looked too flat and new. I didn't like it, so that's why I've added, as you can see, I've added all this weathering to it. And I quite like having some of the glue showing through here, like on this bit here. I quite like that because it makes it look real and worn. So that's what I did. And on the chipboard bits I just painted them grey, sort of a grey colour to make it look. And that one there I kind of made it look a little bit distressed and dirty. And the same on this one. I've distressed it a bit, made it look like it was torn. And I've added a little bit of ink to the posters just to make them look a bit dirty. So it looks a little bit more realistic. So yeah, that's the bus stop diorama that I've made. Hopefully it'll be used in toy photography. It'd be interesting to see how it would work, but I'm pretty pleased with the outcome, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Bye.